Hey, Mike, make sure everyone has brown gloves.
Does everyone have brown gloves?
Dude.
We're back. This is big news.
You thought we'd never leave?
We've been back for 5 seconds. You're already taking your clothes off.
My shirt has never been honor.
That's true, but it's ONNER rather than HONOR.
See, the thing is normally this is a button show. That's how I feel about it. I don't got buttons. So
I feel it's a bit of a zipper show.
You're a zipper guy. I'm a
Make
button
sure
guy.
everyone has
Whoops,
brown
we got
gloves.
audio problems.
It's okay.
Dude.
It's never a bad thing to have 2 doses of brown gloves.
No.
You know what
And
I'm
what would a return show be without some technical fuck?
saying? We scared the shit out of Steve.
I'm sorry. I got scared to myself.
So this is a button show, but for the uninitiated who are just coming over right now, maybe they saw the thumbnail and they clicked on this and they go, "Oh, Raw Talks Live, that could be fun." Before they start calling us liars and this is clickbait and we misbranded it, this is WWE Raw Talks Live. And what we do on the show is we review Monday Night Raw segment by segment, match by match, promo by promo, right here on youtube.com/616entertainment with the artist formerly known as Mike Charles, with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do it every Monday night, except for last week because it was E3.
E3.
That takes precedent.
Important. Sony's conference was on during Raw.
So now we're back. We've got our brown gloves, and we're here to talk about fucking Monday Night Raw the way we always do. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Why don't you tell me about where we started here this week?
Let me get my notes on my phone.
Palmer says that Steve gets startled by Girl Scouts, which I'm
Girl
not going to
Scouts
say
can
one
be
way or
pretty
the other.
scary, though.
Yeah, they can be. That's definitely true.
All right, so Paul Heyman and Brock
Mhm.
Lesnar are in the ring. Yeah, last week, we didn't talk about this because we weren't here. We were dead. But last week, it was revealed that Seth Rollins' next opponent would be Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar is back, finally, after being suspended for murdering Michael Cole
Yes.
and that cameraman. Michael Cole was resurrected from the dead. The cameraman is still on the ground. His family...
We'll never see him again.
No.
He was cremated.
His family starved to death because they weren't being fed from their father. But anyway, so Lesnar's back. He's now enacting his rematch clause.
Yes.
From before, which he wanted to do after WrestleMania, but he got suspended. And Heyman comes out because he talks for him, and he's like, Brock Lesnar's here tonight to apologize to Michael Cole and JBL.
And JBL, both of them
Booker
together.
T wasn't there tonight.
Yeah.
So he couldn't apologize
And
to
the
him.
cameraman is dead.
Right.
So there's
no one to apologize to.
What
His
I
family's
heard-
dead too.
what's on the dirt sheets is Brock mailed a letter of condolences to the family,
But they're dead.
but they all died.
Yeah.
So
The
there's a
dog
new
died.
family who lives in that house who's going to get this letter and be like, "Who is this giant man?"
And then the boy's gonna be no, and he's like, "That's Brock Lesnar. He's a man."
Yeah, and I'm just a boy, so so I can't say anything either way about Brock Lesnar because he's
No.
going to do whatever he wants regardless.
And he, you know what though? He was a man tonight.
Brock
Yeah.
or the boy?
The Brock. He came out. He shook the hands of JBL.
Yes.
He went up to Michael Cole. He was frightened, which I can't. He's got PTSD from.
I was frightened for Michael Cole.
You
'Cause
never
Brock
know what
Lesnar
he's
goes
gonna do.
walking over,
You
and it's
never
like
know what he's
yeah.
gonna do.
he killed an entire. He killed a man, and then the whole family
Indirectly
died.
murdered a whole family.
Yeah. So if he just goes over, he gives Michael Cole a noogie tonight because he does apologize.
He gives him
to
in a headlock.
Yeah.
Puts him in a noogie, and that's like, nah.
He gives him in a headlock and puts him in a noogie. Is what you just said.
You're goddamn right, he does.
Wasn't that a Limp Bizkit song?
Gets
I
him
did
in
it.
a noogie.
No, I did it all for the noogie.
nookie.
Noogie.
Nook.
No. What the fuck is a nook?
Nookie. A nook is a little hole in the wall where you
Yeah.
can put shit.
Or a
Your
man.
knickknacks.
Or a man in Animal Crossing named Tom. Name of Tom. Ricky Schmidt says, read that in The Observer that the family is about to be horrified when they find out what happened to the poor son of a bitch who used to live in that house.
Oh.
And see, now that's definitely true. And Ricky's first question of the night is, did Brock call out Ahmed Johnson? And you better believe he did.
So wait, the realtor did not tell the new family what happened to the old family?
If you were a realtor-
I think you're obligated to by
Yeah,
law.
but how many movies have you seen where like, oh, we need to sell this house, and the family's like, wow, we can get this amazing house with a pool for that cheap, and the guy's like, no one died here, and the family's like, ooh, then we're in, and then you find out later the realtor, when stuff goes wrong, he's like, someone died
I'd
here.
only buy a house that somebody died in.
Yeah. Well, that's why you moved just last year.
Yeah.
Because you heard about the Lesnar house and were like, I need to find me the equivalent of a Lesnar house in Illinois. So, you know, that's where it comes from. Palmer says, noogie, noogie, motherfucker. And I think he's definitely on to
I
something.
hate nuggies.
Well, you're in for a surprise. Because right now, you know what I'm saying? I got a new shirt that says Noogie City, bitch.
I'll hit you.
You don't want to do that. That's rude.
So is nuggies.
You missed 2 shows in a row, and now you're saying you're going to punch your co-host.
Because you were going to attack me, and sometimes life takes precedent. Sometimes there's more important things than Raw Talk sometimes.
Only E3.
Listen, Raw Talks is important. It's high on my priority list.
Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I told you it's the tops.
Yeah. Well, what's the top on your priority list?
My future.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Seth Rollins wanted to get coffee with me, and I was like, I can't pass that up. They'd understand the Raw.
So when did this happen?
When I missed Raw Talks.
Both times. He said he called.
No, last time it was E3. That's precedent.
There's no way it happened twice because the first time you guys hung out and he saw how bloated you were, there's no way he would have invited you back.
No, see, coffee. I hate coffee, but it keeps me less bloated. So it didn't happen twice. I never said it happened twice.
So let's stop doing bits. Let's talk about Raw. Brock Lesnar is 100% babyface.
Yeah, big time.
No doubt. They signified that tonight by putting him in a comedy sketch right up front. Paul Heyman is pandering to the crowd, saying, my guy is going to kill the #1 heel. Right. And if that's not like, we've known for a long time that that's where they're going with this. Brock was going to come back babyface. He was fucking babyface before he left. Before he went on his vacation. But still, this opening segment I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was so good. I love that Brock is back, and I also love that Paul Heyman is back. Yeah. I think I might like that Paul Heyman's back better. When he was talking, and he was talking about what he was going to do to Seth Rollins, and he used like 75 adjectives. Yeah. To describe. I don't even know that many words. How many words were in that promo? I don't even know that many words.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I'm going to name all the words I know right now. Lamp.
Yeah.
7. Jackie Chan. Roots. That's about it. That's all I know.
So the 2 notes that I wrote down for this were 100% babyface. The other one was noogie, because I don't remember any other time I've seen a noogie on WWE television. So that made me really happy. So he gives him the noogie
like he's a little brother,
and then he looks at him and he goes, "Are we good? Are we good?" And Cole's just like, "Yeah, Brock, we're good." Ricky Schmidt says, read in The Observer that Seth Rollins thought the artist was Sami Zayn, and that's why they went to get coffee.
So I don't care. I had a great experience either way.
Palmer goes, what an idiot he must be then, Ricky. Because Palmer doesn't think that you look like Sami Zayn at all, apparently. But I also got big news for you that Palmer is taking a shot every time you burp tonight. Well, so there's a good chance that Palmer's going to be all kinds of fucked up by the time
I'm going to make sure I burp more.
I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know if you realize how much you actually burp. So we got Dean versus Kane. And if you take out the verses, you've got Dean Kane.
Who is that?
He played Superman in the 90s sitcom Lois and Clark.
Oh.
He is also the host of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley was the protagonist in Alien. In Aliens. Alien 3. Alien Resurrection.
Adam DeVries, a.k.a. System, says, hi. Where the fuck has the System been? That's what I want to know. He's been lurking the 616 boards, you know what I'm saying? And he's been chiming in here and there.
You gotta stop getting on it, like being mean to people when they take a few weeks off. Because then they don't want to come back.
You're just saying that because you just took a few weeks off. I'm Mr. 24/7 over here. I don't take fucking breaks. Hey.
I'm not. You took a break last week, you cocksucker.
I didn't take a break. I had to cover E3.
You didn't cover shit.
I covered the whole event.
I'm just saying.
You were sitting right there. When they showed Fallout, I was just like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, when our fans miss a week and then you get on their case when they come back, they're not going to want to come back because, like, oh, I missed a week. Ian's going to be mad at me. And he's not. You guys should be like, oh, we're glad to have you back. Not everyone has to see everything.
Ricky Schmidt's got major heat with you. He wants to know how the fuck you cannot know who Dean Kane is.
I know who he is. I just forget sometimes. I'm a forgetful man when it comes to names and other men.
Palmer says that's the best time to be mean to people. See, now, I think Palmer and I have a connection that we may not have verbally shared before. You know what I'm saying? But we got System in the room now. We got Coulter of Personality in the room. And the Cult of Personality was on episode 57 of the 616 Entertainment Podcast. Let me tell you, I had a lot of fun doing it.
And he's going to go down. He's going down.
June 16th, 2016.
Goddamn right.
We've got something to talk about, though, before we talk about that. We got to talk about this.
This is the Coulter of Personality, and you're a bad dad disappointment.
The Coulter of Personality thinks that you're a bad dad disappointment.
I got news for you. You're going to be the bad dad disappointment. Your dad's going to be like, I can't believe this is my son. He got beat up by a Sami Zayn looking motherfucker.
Who doesn't know who Dean Kane is?
You're goddamn right.
So we got Dean versus Kane. we're in Bit City tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Bit City.
Right.
System says, in all fairness, I've missed multiple weeks. We know. That's why I called you out, you son of a bitch.
And it's okay. We're glad to have you back. Watch when you can. That's all I want.
Captain McKay says, he shouldn't know who Dean Kane is. He only knows like 4 words. I don't know. Well, I know why this match happened.
There was no reason for
it
this.
happened so Kane can be in the ring.
When
Seth
Seth
can
comes
come
to
out
save
and
help.
we can initiate the story that Seth is trying to mend the bridge that he burned.
Right, because he's such a dick.
So that was the whole point of this.
Yeah.
I wrote down, what is Dean doing?
Nothing.
He had the nothing.
That was weird. Drink.
Palmer's got to take a shot. Palmer, what are you drinking? I'm a straight edge boy, but the artist formerly known as Mike Charles is definitely going to be interested in what you're drinking.
That was another one. 2 shots. 2 shots in. I could have burped before, too, and I didn't even know.
Coulter says he's going to fuck you up, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're talking about Dean and Kane. What is Dean doing?
Nothing right
He
now.
had the world title feud with Seth. We missed last week for E3, and you missed even the week before that.
Yeah.
So have they – I don't know if they have started a new feud for him. It certainly doesn't seem like it. Because he was out there, he loses to Kane. They don't do anything with him for the rest of the day. Why do I have a red spot here? You see that? That looks weird. That's not a pimple.
I don't know.
It's like I got shot there, and then it healed over.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about it.
What do you think they should do with Dean?
I don't fucking know.
Ham roast.
Dean ham roast.
Gene's ham roast.
Gene's ham roast. I don't know who's not doing something right now. Doesn't matter.
No.
It's not my fucking job to book it. What are you, Sam Fricky? Sam Fricky's the kind of Dan who comes in here and he wants to book the rest of the year.
Predictions. I just was wondering.
No, I changed it to predictions. Ricky Schmidt says Coulter cannot lose to you. Ricky Schmidt says it would really be damaging to Coulter's career and the personality.
Guess what? I'm gonna bury him.
How?
With a spoon.
It's gonna take a long time.
I'm gonna have it ready.
Look what Coulter said about you.
I was trying to read that, but my glasses are on.
He says, Art's the type of nigga to pay at the McDonald's drive-thru with quarters.
You're goddamn right, because quarters are money!
And I didn't censor that. He spelled it with Q's.
I know.
Youch says Dean Ambrose. Burnout says, match of the year candidate at Battleground. Dean Ambrose versus Kane. Calling it right now. Take that, Meltzer. I just want to appreciate the fact that Burnout is in the room with us, because he's a great Dan. You know what I'm saying? Burnout's a good man. You know about Burnout?
I know all about Burnout. I shit my pants while playing Burnout.
That's from episode 1 of the What Game Are You Gaming podcast. For whatever, we got on the tangent of, have you ever shit your pants while playing a video game? And you were like, yeah, I was playing Burnout 3. I shit. This week, we should have episode 2 of that podcast going up. Yep. So if you Dan-Dans are gamers and you want to hear your favorite Dan-Dans talk about games, that's the show for you. So we got Seth and Kane backstage. Well, let's fucking try to talk about Raw for a few minutes.
We're bad. We're bad Raw boys.
Dan-Dans, do you come here to hear us talk about Raw, or do you come here to hear us talk about everything else? That's what I'd like to know. Coulter is glad to hear that you learned about currency.
I've always known. You just learned about currency from my lesson, Coulter.
Seth and Kane are backstage. Seth wants to get the band back together. That's his main goal. Mm-hmm. That's the mission that he is on.
I'm glad he finally come around and realized like what he's finally appreciating all the help he's gotten.
Kane's like a big brother to him.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes brothers fight. Let me tell you.
You can't get around it.
I don't know if the Dan-Dans, they should be able to see the scar that's on my hand right there, that big long one. Mm-hmm. That came from a fight that I got in with my brother where I took glow-in-the-dark spray paint and I wrote Hefe sucks on his door, and I drew a big dick. And then when he came home, I shut the lights off real quick, so in the glow-in-the-dark, he walks in and sees that written on his door. And he comes out and he goes, I'm going to rub my asshole on your doorknob. And I said, if you do that, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. So he took his pants down and he rubbed his fucking butthole on my doorknob. So I got up and I punched him in the face. And then he punched me in the face. And then we clinched and we took it to the ground, and it was like dust like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And then we broke because the round was over. And I looked at my hand, and this finger here was about that long. And my knuckle was down in the center of my hand. And I said, dude, my hand's broken. And he goes, no, it isn't. And I go, look at it. So then he went and got me a bowl of ice water to heal my hand with.
And now you're best friends.
I don't know.
I don't have a brother, but I punched my sister in the face.
Did she rub her asshole on your doorknob?
No, she was sleeping. I went in there to bed and I just fucking popped her.
Burnout Inc. says he shit his pants playing that game. The more you know a guy. Palmer says nobody wants to talk about Raw.
Yeah.
Ricky says, bro, I shit my pants every time I play Tecmo Bowl and I get close to the end zone with Walter Payton and motherfuckers get me at the 1 yard line. That's so detailed. Coulter says it's a little from column A and B. He likes the raw talk and he likes the bullshit. Ricky Schmidt says, mostly to hear you talk about everything else. And Burnout says, I put on Raw on the TV and then go do something else anyway, so it's the same thing, really. I understand. So what I was thinking is, I was reading Ricky Schmidt's comment. That's an interesting way to respond to someone saying you suck dick. It's to put your butthole on something that's theirs.
It sucks. I wouldn't want his butthole.
If someone rubbed
shit.
your butthole, my butthole, if someone rubbed their butthole on one of your belongings, would that bring violence out of you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Especially because I said beforehand, if you rub your butthole on the door, I'm going to punch you. And he rubbed his butthole on the door. It's like in Walk Hard. He's pulling the sink off the wall, and his wife goes, Dewey, if you pull that sink off the wall, I'm leaving you.
Sometimes it's
and he pulls the sink off. She goes, I'm leaving you. And he goes, no!
Sometimes it's worth it to rub your butthole on a doorknob to get punched in the face. Or it's worth it opposite. It's worth it to get punched in the face so you can rub a butthole on a knob.
The primetime players took on the Ascension.
They sure did.
Coulter says, dude, who put this asshole on my doorknob? It wasn't like a severed butthole that was taped to the edge of the doorknob. You know,
right?
It was still a part of him, and he spread his cheeks and he dropped it on there and gave it the old one too.
I'm aware. We can move on from this butthole doorknob situation. Remember though, what's ironic is that, did you ever play the game Doorknob where somebody farted and you would yell doorknob?
I see. Now people around me would play that game.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a part of it because I didn't like it.
Yeah. See,
I was a fan of this game. Ha!
Yeah.
Dan doesn't remember the circle game. And if someone looks at the circle you did, but it's below their waist, you get to punch them. You know?
There was a lot of fart shaming going on when we were kids.
Yeah. And now you remove the R, and here we are in 2015. You know what I'm saying?
There's so much shaming going on. Shame the shamers. That's
Shame Seamus. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
How's your arm feel?
Bruised.
Look how hairy your shoulders are.
I'm a hairy boy.
Your shoulders are you're a boy, but you're hairy like a dad. That's the weird part.
Maybe I am a dad.
The primetime players face the Ascension.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I don't care. So I'm glad that it's cool to see the primetime players with the tag team titles.
Definitely, I agree.
I like the primetime players. I like Titus. I like
Mega Dad of the Year.
Mega Dad. Well, that's a cool title.
Mega Dad.
To win that award.
I want to be called Mega Dad.
Well, first you gotta be a dad.
No, I don't want to be called Mega Dad.
You gotta take mega pills to be mega. Because right now you just be mega boy.
Yeah. Wait, so
if you took mega pills, you'd be mega boy.
So right now I'm just a boy? What can I do to change that? What the best part about this match, #dadhair, the best part about this match was Big E is backstage watching the match eating broccoli.
Yeah.
And so the primetime players win in a lackluster match. It was fine, whatever. Yeah. It was just to get the tag titles on screen. That's what it was for. So Big E's eating broccoli all throughout the match.
I forgot about that.
And then they win, and we cut backstage, and Kofi goes, "Give me the broccoli." And Big E hands him the broccoli, and then goes like this, and he takes out more broccoli.
That's unsanitary.
He's just got broccoli in his singlet.
That's really fucking gross.
How often is it there?
All
How
the
often
time.
does he have broccoli?
It's always there.
Brown
That's
Egg
fucking
says, "Take out
gross.
the trash. Take out the trash." Booker wasn't there tonight. They replaced him with a different African-American gentleman. Why couldn't they have replaced one of the white men? That's what I want to know.
Because Booker probably couldn't be
Get rid
there.
of JBL. You got Michael Cole, and then you got, what's his name?
The Booker? Or
No.
the other black guy, Byron?
Yeah, Byron.
Seth?
You got Booker, Cole, Byron, and you've got an Oreo of wrestling announcers. That's the move. And then you could get an Oreo sponsorship, and then they'll be like, "Oreo, snap into the cookie." And they look over, and then they're all dunking.
Because now what we got is those Oreos that are a chocolate cookie and a white cookie. Because it's black, white, white.
Black, white. Yeah, see, but that's the mixture. That's some bullshit. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that shit. You know what I mean?
It should always be even. The black guy should always sit in the middle if there's one, or if there's one white guy.
I mean, I don't have anything against that. Where do we go next? Because
I just like the symmetry.
I think I may have missed a segment or two because the next thing I've got written down is Roman versus Sheamus.
That is the next thing.
Well, we're going on to Roman versus Sheamus. How do you feel about it?
I
Tell me
don't
about
like
it.
I said earlier tonight that, like, before Raw starts, I am much less excited than I usually
normally
I'm
are.
not always. I'm usually not excited for Raw unless there's like some big shit going on.
Mhm.
But I'm much less excited knowing that Sheamus has the briefcase. Like, god damn it. Money in the Bank is one of my favorite pay-per-views because of like what it means.
Yeah.
Like, it's so exciting to me, like, who wins the briefcase, because that's huge shit. Like, that's going to be looming for so long, and now we have Sheamus looming for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Sheamus looming around.
Steve says, "Bring back Oreo O's." And I agree.
Yes.
Captain McKay's got some comments that we're going to get to in just a second, but let's talk about this match so we can start to get through this show.
And so, like, I like Roman Reigns. Some people don't. But I don't. I just... Because this means that Sheamus is going to be played into the main card situation, and I don't fucking want to see that. Like, he's probably going to win the title of it at one point. He
That's
might
what
not
it's
hold
for.
on to it, but he's going to win the title this year.
And who do you
And
want
that's
him to win
fucking
it from?
bullshit.
He's either gonna win from Seth, Lesnar, or Roman. And Sheamus beating any of those guys for the title is not something I want to watch.
No.
And I'm not the kind of wrestling fan to complain about. Like, at first when I was watching Kane and Seth, spoilers, beat up Brock tonight, I had a little bit of a problem with it because I was just like, 3 months ago, Brock would have shrugged both of these jerk-offs away, and then he would have F5'd every fan in the arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 by 1, sometimes 2 by 1. But you have to understand that you're watching a television show, and the deal is the fact that Brock Lesnar is a babyface now, and as a babyface, he needs to sell.
Right.
He needs to sell so we can go, come on, Brock, get him.
Yeah.
Because when Brock is a heel, you kind of just sit back going, whoa, that was fucking awesome, suplex, where now they handicap him, so when they go against Seth, Seth has an in. He has something he can go for.
Yeah.
Them handicapping the knee makes Brock look stronger in the long run.
Right.
Because he's going to go out there with a fucked up knee, control that
Still-
entire match. It'll eventually end in a disqualification.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we're looking at there. So
And no matter who you are, getting beat up by 4 guys, 4-on-1,
Yeah.
doesn't make you look.
no, you look
No matter
fine.
who you
and
are.
it's fucking Brock Lesnar.
Right.
He's going to look strong forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Doesn't matter.
The one weird thing I thought about this match was there's a
All right,
part
we're
where
talking about Raymond
Raymond and Shaman, Raymond Shanes and Sheamus Jones. Sheamus controlled a lot of this match, and there was a part where Roman started his comeback with a back suplex, and he starts working in on his comeback, and then all of a sudden Roman hits another back suplex, and it's the double down before they both get up. Is the back suplex one of the only moves in Roman's fucking
I
repertoire?
didn't get that either.
Did you notice it?
Yeah.
2 back suplexes at different points of the match, and they both led to the same thing.
Right.
It was almost like, fuck, we have 3 extra minutes we didn't know we had. Just do that again.
Yeah, it's weird because he has moves in his arsenal.
Burnout Inc. real quick says, this year's Money in the Bank was pretty terrible. Who do you guys think should have won it?
It was bad.
You used the wrong one, first of all. That should be W-O-N, not W-O-N-E. Because I spelled it wrong as I corrected it. So it was part of the joke. I said W-O-N-E, which isn't a word.
Well,
I think Neville should have won. And Neville was my pick. I thought it was a shoo-in that Roman was going to win. So I told Sam Fricky, devil's advocate, I'm going to go with Neville. Because Neville is a guy who is not booked in the main event. So if he has it, people are like, oh, shit, where's Neville? Neville could cash in.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't think Roman would win because they can just book Roman in a title match like that. No one will bat an eye.
I thought Roman was going to win. I would have been, I would have been okay if Roman would have won. It would have been my favorite pick. And, like, you're right. They could just, put it in. They could just book him in the match. But at the same time, with Seth as the champ, Roman having the briefcase is significant.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's a whole, like, Shield rivalry thing. I don't know, like, I would have loved to see Neville win, but I don't know if that was the best choice because he's still, like, kind of he's very new to the WWE roster. And, like, I don't know if that's the best thing. Like, I think he needs to be around a little bit longer, earn his stripes a little bit more. Before.
He could have done that while having the case, though.
True.
And I think we both know he's legit from NXT and from his
no doubt
before.
Yeah, and he's been killing it up here.
So so the match ends because Bray Wyatt comes on the screen and he does the same shit he always fucking does. He shows up with a riddle and Roman goes, oh, he's got my daughter.
He's got a new children's song.
Yeah. So Roman runs away because he's going to look for his small girl, not a boy, his small girl. Because he wants to be Mega Dad because he's jealous of Tyrone James. What's his name? Titus O'Neil. Tyrone James. I'm fucking tired of this Bray Wyatt bullshit.
Yeah, me too.
Because they're just so fucking lazy with him. I love watching Bray, and even when he first does like a oh, here's my new weird thing and I'm doing it to this guy, it's like, oh, this could be fun. Bray having a match with this guy will be fun. But he hasn't fucking said anything in a year.
No, they don't. They don't give you any motivation, and it's like, oh, well, we're not supposed to know what he means, so just who cares?
Which that gives them the out card of just being lazy,
right? To
where we can just be like, oh, he's going after Roman. Why? Because anyone but you. What does that mean?
It doesn't.
He took Roman's daughter. Why? He doesn't like him. It's like how fucking lazy are you? Why doesn't he like Roman Reigns? They're gonna give us some backhanded fucking reason, and then Roman's gonna go over in the feud, and it's just we're rinsing and repeating with Bray, which Bray is not doing with himself.
No,
he still looks like shit.
And like, I think about back during WrestleMania when he faced The Undertaker. Like, that was an opportunity for them to tell like a clear, concise, motivated story. And they still couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
Like, it was easy to figure out, like, a way to tell that story.
I like the way I booked that.
Yeah, exactly.
Bray was trying to get him to come back because, like, oh, you used to be scary. You were a guy I idolized. It's where I came from or whatever. So then if Undertaker comes out and beats him, Bray can go out and look sad, and he gets the mic, and then he busts out laughing. And people are like, oh, he's crazy. And he busts out laughing because he's happy.
Yeah.
He's like, I resurrected the dead man. I own the dead man. You thought he was gone, but I had the power to bring him back. My plan worked all along, and he looks strong with a loss. But he went out and he lost, which doesn't fucking matter because it's to The Undertaker. Right. Everyone's going to lose to The Undertaker.
And then he didn't say anything.
And then he didn't do anything of note.
He talked to Ryback for 2 months and then had one match with him.
And then that fell apart. So I'm over this Bray Wyatt bullshit. I still like Bray Wyatt. I just wish they would handle him better.
Yeah.
I'm not condemning Bray Wyatt by any means. Let's talk to the chat real quick. Captain McKay says 2 things. It jumps just as I do that. Number 1, I'm late for the answer, but I dig the random conversation and being kept up on Raw since I don't watch it all. And number 2, Mountain Man just asked what this was. I told him it's 616 doing a Raw review. I finished talking, and instead of Raw, there's talk of buttholes on a doorknob.
Perfect.
Tell the Mountain Man I fucking love that guy. And they have their own Twitch channel where they stream games all the time, which I believe is twitch.tv/APT9. That was some weird shit. APT. That's the Mountain Man saying, "Don't be talking about my shit on your show."
We're
APT9 Gaming, Apartment 9 Gaming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was watching them stream. It was called like Shadow Warrior. It was like a first-person like sword game, as Dominic would say. And you just like it didn't look very good at all. And you just run around and he's slicing dudes and monsters and stuff.
That's cool.
And I'm in the chat because I'm hanging out with him, like Captain is now, and I go, "How is this game?" And Mountain Man and Captain are just like, "It's fun. Like it is exactly what it looks like." And then he goes, "You kind of just fight dudes." So I wrote in the chat, I was like, box quote, IGN, visually impressive. Apartment 9 Gaming, you just fight dudes. So we were talking about we need to print new covers for video games with our own box quotes.
Oh, nice.
I want the Apartment 9 Gaming box quote on all of these games. Because I'll print those out, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that's one of the best parts.
What would the box quote be from the Mountain Man's box quote for Dancer be?
Captain, you got to walk down the hallway and ask Mountain Man what his box quote for Dancer would be. Because it would probably be, there'd probably be two. The first one would be, "How long is this?" And the other one would be, "That's a nice shower."
That's my favorite.
Ricky Schmidt says, "To be honest, I've been bored of Wyatt since the Cena feud. Just does the same type of promos. They don't give him opponents that he can have good matches with, and the gimmick hasn't progressed since last year." To be honest, that Wyatt promo you're describing would be better than anything they've done with him in the last year. I agree. Thank you for seeing it my way. Give me the books. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm also going to put Cody Rhodes as a top guy. And Ricky knows what I'm talking about.
Are you going to take out Stardust?
Yeah,
Make him
you know
Cody
what?
Rhodes?
No, he's going to be Stardust.
Okay. That's a valid question.
But you know what I could do is I could book both of them. But he's going to have to do the Cody segments first. Cody's going to be a mid-carder, but Stardust is a top-tier main eventer. But he's got to be Cody first because that makeup probably takes a while to wash off. You know what I'm saying?
Washes off in his fucking match.
Where'd we go next?
We had Seth Rollins backstage again.
Talking to J&J.
J&J.
I was in here setting up the beautiful set here, so you got to talk about this part.
No, it's cool. So he's back there, same shit. He's trying to make up to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys are my backbone. I need you. I'm sorry, I was a boy. I'm sorry, I'm a dick boy.
Yeah.
And Joey, I don't think he talked this raw again. I think he
whispered in
silencing
Kane's
it.
ear.
Okay.
But that was
We
about
didn't
it.
hear him.
No, we didn't hear it.
Like at one point he was drinking a cup of water and just like threw it behind. They weren't having it. They weren't having it at all. And I gotta tell you, I don't blame them. I wouldn't trust that Seth Rollins dickhead boy.
Joey said more with his body language than he ever could have said with his words. You know what I mean? Because Joey, when he talks, he means what he says. But when you get a guy like Joey throwing a cup, it means get your bullshit out of here.
I don't fucking want
You're
you.
a dick boy.
Get out of here, dick boy. He's a fuck boy. That's what he is.
Hashtag get out of here, dick boy. Someone screen cap, do a pose like this, and the Dan-Ans have to tweet, get out of here, dick boy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the move.
Closer.
But you're pointing at me. I don't want to be the dick boy.
Get out. Get out.
I can't get out of the show. You're ruining the show. The whole show is ruined now because you are trying to get yourself over.
You were asking me to do the pose. I'm just making sure they got good ones.
Ricky wants me to book Cody versus Stardust. That's not possible.
That'd be pretty cool though.
We got, what the fuck does this say? News versus Rodeo?
Wow.
Wait a minute, but before we even go there, we got Neville versus Kofi. I can't read my own writing. We got Neville versus Kofi, right? Is that where we are? Douglas says, huh? Coulter's not being very active in the chat tonight. What do you think he's doing?
He's scared that I'm going to beat him up.
Ooh, I think he's doing that. He's probably jerking off stalefish. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is to jerk off stalefish?
Yeah, like this.
No, it's like you lean back. You can't.
Just Google it, guys.
You lean back, but you also got to go like under the leg, like Scottie Pippen style. Stand on the chair real quick. So we just stand on the chair. You got it. We got to show the Dan-Dans what jerking off
I'm so
stalefish
fucking
is.
annoyed.
So there you are. Now you come over a little bit, and you got to put your hand through the leg.
like this.
There you go. That's some classic stalefish jerk off. So now that when we say that word, the Dan-Dans know what we're talking about. Neville versus Kofi. What? Okay, first of all, what the fuck is happening here? Who is Neville? Is Neville feuding with Kofi?
I don't think so.
While the other portion of the New Day is feuding with the Primetime Players? Because Neville has been going against the tag champions for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, he's been teaming up with PTP as well recently, right?
Yeah, because they're feuding with the tag champs. But
Right. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Captain McKay's tweeting us.
So I bet he got a screenshot.
The thing, I like this match because I think Neville and Kofi work really well together. You know what I mean? Captain McKay's got classic tweets. You know what I'm saying? I think Neville and Kofi work really well together. I mean, so anytime that they put those two guys out there, I'm going to be happy about it. But I just don't really understand where we're going with this. I sound like a girl in a relationship in high school. Where are we going?
Can we just get drinks and bang?
Is that what your relationships in high school were like?
No, I didn't. Have
Put the Twitter down. Talk about the show.
I didn't have any relationships in high school.
Yeah. That's how it breaks down.
We got a bunch of these.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. When we do call the Dan-Dans to arms and say that they should put tweets up, they do a great job.
They're great.
So I want to thank the
They're great
Dan-Dans.
with it.
And while we've got the Dan-Dans here, I want to say if you want to click that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, you know what I'm saying? We do shows here all fucking day. All day, all week, 24/7. What are you doing?
I get bored when you so loud.
Do you not want anyone to watch the show?
I'm just kidding.
What a piece of shit you are. You're not even a businessman. You know what? Now it's on you.
I'm the most business of men.
You got to carry the show for a whole minute. I'm leaving.
So one thing I noticed about this, something that made me laugh was when Kofi was fighting Adrian Neville. He got a one up on him. He did something good, and Xavier Woods screamed out of excitement, but it was it sounded like he was sad, like his dog died or something. And I was just like, he needs to change his scream to be more like of an excitement. So Kofi, then what happens is the Primetime Players come out to save Neville because the New Day, all three of them were going to gang up on poor old Neville boy. And so they come out to save him. The ref kicks out the Primetime Players, but the New Day is still there. And then he's like, oh, no, it's cool. You guys are gone too. And Kofi's all pissed off because he got rid of them, because he got rid of his friends. And while he's arguing with the ref, Neville comes around and pins him. So Neville won, which is good because I like that guy. What did you guys think about this match?
The thing that I liked the most about this match was the fact that how many times have we seen Neville go over clean on guys with his finishing move?
Every time.
Neville has he's got perfect marksmanship. I'm jealous as fuck of this outfit. This looks fucking awesome.
What are you talking about?
But I love that Neville goes out there. He has a good match every time. He hits his finisher, and then he wins. There's no fuck around. There's none of that bullshit.
No.
You know what I mean? So every time Neville comes out, I'm like, yes, this is going to be a good match. I've never been let down by a Neville match. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
This is what it's like sitting next to me, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I did like that this segment furthered the tag feud because they need to do that. But there could have been a little bit more broccoli in this segment.
There wasn't any broccoli in the match.
Yeah, don't hit the table.
There needed to be broccoli in the match.
Well, there probably was broccoli, but we just couldn't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ricky says he said give him the book and he'd make Cody the top guy. And I was like, oh, my nigga, Ricky knows what I'm talking about. And I was like, hey, Palmer does too. Ricky says, what the fuck is that hat? Palmer says, it's sexy. It just looks awful on him. System says, new show. The artist plays dress up. Palmer says, are you about to reenact Showgirls? Coulter says that you look very homosexual.
You're fucking so wrong.
Palmer says if Whoopi Goldberg were a white bearded ginger, she'd look like that.
Well,
I think you look pretty good. Coulter just came through with the MVP tweet of the night. Oh, man, that was fucking awesome. So what do we got up next?
King Barrett versus Zack Ryder.
That's what that says. It says news versus Ryder.
Bad news.
But I just wrote down news. I wrote down ugh.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
And the crowd
didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck.
The crowd doesn't give a fuck about Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder is one of those guys who he had a following.
How did he get that following?
He had a following because he was always kind of treated like shit.
Yeah.
As far as like the booking goes. And then he went online and he started his own talk show called like Long Island Ice Z. Because he's from Long Island and Zach Z. You know what I mean? So he did this show and fans saw like, oh, this guy's just like me. Like he's an actual super fan. He's not just like a rich wrestler guy. And he's obsessed with action figures. So, of course, wrestling fans who are obsessed with action figures were just like, whoa, bro, we're like friends.
So he connected.
So the vocal minority of the internet wrestling community was like, that is our motherfucker.
Right.
Let's get behind him. And the WWE was just like, we don't give a fuck.
No.
So they never did anything with him. I can't believe he still has a job. I'm not shitting on Zack Ryder. That's just from what I've seen and what I know, that's the reality of the situation.
You didn't say he was bad, or
no,
you just
like
said that WWE doesn't give a fuck about
I
him,
don't
which
think
is a fact.
I didn't say he's bad. I don't think he's good, but I didn't say he was bad. He's perfectly serviceable to go out there and lose
yeah,
or win if they decided to make him win. But the fact that he did have a vocal minority on his side maybe could tell you that if handled right, he could have the majority with him. But they've never really given him that shot, so I don't fucking know.
Also, like,
Coulter says you look very homosexual in a good way, by the way.
I just disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I think I look like fucking some Finnish rock star.
Well, I don't know about that.
Also, you had a revelation a few weeks back that
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose doesn't really do a lot for you.
Nope.
I kind of had that revelation with Barrett tonight.
Yeah.
I liked him more when he was just like 60 feet in the air telling people bad news.
You liked him better before he started wrestling, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So you like his promo work.
Yes.
So if let's
he doesn't he doesn't say like funny bad news shit anymore.
So okay,
It's like,
we
now
just
he just comes out as like, I'm the king, and nobody beats me.
we just gave you the book. How do you use them?
Have him just stop wrestling and get that. No, he wrestled. Okay, here's the thing. So remember, he had that podium.
Yeah,
And he would go all the way up in the sky and he would spout bad news. So here's what I want. I want him to bring that back, raise him up and give bad news, and then some babyface gets pissed and gets a ladder, climbs up there. They have a match on that top of that
a scaffold
cylinder.
match.
Yeah, but it's only like a couple feet in diameter. So it's going to be a confined match. But if they're the right guys, their skill's going to be able to shine through that. You know.
I understand. Ricky says he had the revelation about Ambrose when they broke up the Shield. So he says he had it a long time ago. System says the U.S. title was higher than Ryder. The U.S. title was higher than Ryder should have gotten with this gimmick. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say there. Burnout has a really good point. Says that King Barrett killed Bad News Barrett. So might be why you recently have felt that way.
Well, I mean, like looking back, I've never been that into his matches either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he doesn't the King thing. I don't know. I think the King thing's kind of boring.
It is boring because they've done it before.
A gimmick.
And it's not even really a gimmick. He's got a cape and a crown, and he's got
He's not.
That's about it.
He's not decreeing shit.
No.
He's not, because like that. He doesn't have any goddamn authority. So why are we pretending like he's a fucking king?
Yeah.
What does that do? Nothing.
I definitely see where you're coming from.
Fucking.
System says King Barry could have been legit, but they just didn't go with it. He corrects himself to legit heel. Palmer says bring back the podium, have Vader climb a cherry picker, and powerbomb him off. First of all, Vader can barely climb out of bed nowadays, so I don't know if he's going to climb off a cherry picker. Ricky Schmidt says, why not have Coulter versus the Artist in a scaffold match?
I'll do it. I'll do whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Coulter,
you picked the stipulation. That's how confident I am that you're not going to sleep the rest of the time because you're going to be dead, and dead people don't sleep.
You're looking at yourself. Why don't you look at the camera so you're addressing him?
I just so love myself.
Look up here, right there. Now cut a promo.
Coulter, you heard everything I said to myself. Just pretend I was talking to you, because I was.
Mm-hmm. This is a good look for you.
I think I'm going to go to work like this tomorrow.
I don't think you're going to.
I'm at work right now.
I mean, when you're right, you're right. So yeah, the crowd was totally, they shit on this. I don't blame them.
And so did I. Shit on it. Shame.
Palmer said earlier, I missed it. He was like, Zack Ryder is a really good dude. That's all I can say about him.
I'm sure he is. Sheamus might be a good guy.
No, there's no fucking way Sheamus is a good guy.
No,
I listened to him on Jericho's podcast, and I was kind of like, okay, as a dude.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But as a performer, he's not a strong performer. That's how I feel about it. But Burnout says the thing that sucks is Vince really liked the Bad News Bear character. So whoever booked him to go away from that gimmick should get taken out. Like the trash.
Yeah. Fuck that trash.
Coulter is now singing to you. Rock says he digs my beanie and I'm a sexy bitch. And you know what? I got to say something. I got to cut a promo on the Mandarin Grizzly Brock Piper right now. First of all, both of us sons of bitches miss you. Second of all, I saw that photo you put up with your dad. Dude, you're looking sexy as fuck. So let me put it bluntly. This motherfucker, when he comes into town, we're going to play Monopoly. We're going to have an undisputed title match. We're going to unify the titles. Let me tell you something. You guys are going to have to fight me away from that handsome son.
I'm gonna slip him a roofie so I can have my way with him.
This gear is making you weird. That's the gif. Someone needs to make a gif out of this because you just made me really uncomfortable. Captain McKay says, I don't even know what to say right now. Captain McKay says, I liked what I knew of Bad News Barrett. Anyone who delighted so much in the ring ruining people's night was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Schmidt says, Coulter, you heard everything I said to myself. Captain McKay says, also, this artist promo reminds me of ECW Taz with the towel. I'm shook. Coulter says, Brock Piper for president. And I got to tell you, if the Mandarin Grizzly ran for president, I don't think Ron Paul stands a chance. I don't think Barango Branga stands a chance. I don't think Hammond.
He can't run again.
There's no rules. I don't think Hillary Brangan stands a chance. I don't think Rang Hang stands a chance. The Mandarin Grizzly Brock Piper is the president. You know what I'm saying? Coulter says implying the artist wasn't weird before the gear.
Shit got weird.
Brock says he's making you more comfortable.
I'm glad. That's what I live for, is Brock's comfort. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but if they get uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I don't care. This is just who I am.
The weird thing is, to me, is I can put on the gear that you're wearing right now, and I'm still just me. But you put this gear on, and all of a sudden you're slipping men roofies, and you're stroking your beard.
Hey, man, don't put this shit on. If you don't want roofies, this is your fault.
Is it? Your fault. That looks like the scarf Sal Melendez wore in
could be
Top 5 Things I Hate.
He usually, when he's done, he usually just takes his clothes off and leaves naked. He comes naked and then he leaves naked. He's just naked.
Right now, now Brock's talking mad shit. Says he would run on the platform of being the all-time greatest Monopoly player because y'all are scrubs. And I got news for the Mandarin Grizzly Brock Piper. When you come back into town and you go head-to-head with the undefeated, reigning, defending, undisputed 616 Entertainment Monopoly champion of the world, no taxes, Nigel Bravo, you're in for a fight. Let me tell you something. Because you might be the Mandarin Grizzly, but you've never been a man. I fucked up. You might be the man or grizzly, but you've never faced a man who doesn't pay taxes. You've never faced a man who has had the windows of his car smashed out, collected the glass in a bag, and brought it to Yabo the Clown at Freelance Wrestling. Now, Yabo the Clown is a professional, but he was too scared to land on the glass. So you want to know what No Taxes did? He went down to the fucking ring and he took it back because he knows later in life he's going to use that glass. And it might just be next month in the fucking Monopoly title match. So you get your shit together. You get your running platform ready because you're going to fucking need it.
Ian has left the building. We shall continue as this. We have John Cena and Kevin Owens in the next segment. John Cena comes out as usual with the United States title. He claims that Kevin Owens is some kind of garbage man. And Kevin Owens does not agree with this. He comes and says that John Cena is the true garbage man, but is a fake phony. Kevin Owens at one point started speaking French, and I thought I had a stroke.
This is the most fucked up episode of this show that we've ever done. You know what I mean? Let's start to get some of this shit off.
I've never felt more alive.
You know what I mean? Let's go back to the chat. Coulter says the beard isn't the only thing the artist is stroking after the roofies. Brock says that's the promo vid right here. Ricky Schmidt says, I feel like the artist in this garb is like artist split personality. You know how Muto has Muda, or vice versa, if you prefer. Ricky Schmidt says, promo of the year by myself, which I appreciate. Brock Piper gives a slow clap. Coulter says 10 out of 10. Brock Piper says, and Mike ruins it.
What ruined what?
Coulter says, suck it, Brock. So, or System said, suck it, Brock. So he's on your side.
The show must go on, Brock Piper.
Coulter says, more hats. This show is off the rails.
This show just can't be a show of clapping. I don't know what you think this show is. This is the first time you've ever come.
Not like you. You come all the time. Whoa!
Come to dinner.
Ricky Schmidt says, voting this best major show in the Observer Awards this year. Okay, so the Danians need to realize that this is the most off the rails we've ever gone, but they're eating it up. So if you guys like it, you're encouraging this sort of behavior. So we got John Cena comes out. He cuts a major promo against Kevin Owens, reiterates the shit that we've heard several times already. Kevin Owens comes out. You look like Steel Panther. You look like every member of Steel Panther. This should be a show. We should just do a show of you dressed like this. You look like a dainty, rich man after he just ate the dinner at a party. Brock wants to watch more Surgery Simulator. There's 2 episodes of it on the Let's Play series. Just go watch those. Because Bob is dead and Job. What I heard is Job was related to one of those men in the family that died with Brock Lesnar. So I thought the French thing was weird.
I didn't get it. I don't know what he said.
What I think they were trying.
Rusev?
What they were well, Rusev's not French, but what they were trying to do was. A lot of people have been cheering for Kevin Owens and doing the whole "fuck you, Cena, Kevin Owens," that sort of thing. So I think they're trying to get past that and establish Owens as a heel. And so he was like, "Well, now we're going to give him the reason to boo me, because I'm a foreigner."
Fuck other countries, America. If you're not American, fuck you.
That's kind of how America is. Coulter says, is that Hollywood Hogan? I don't know what that means. Brock Piper says he watched the Surgeon Simulator videos already. Well, there's a new Let's Play that's out. Mortal Kombat X. You should just watch that.
It's just as violent.
There's 1 Let's Play a week. And then after 4 Let's Plays, we do a What Game Are You Gaming podcast. You know the schedule, Brock Piper. Don't make me cut another promo of the year on you, because I'll one-up myself. But I'd like to give that promo some time to simmer.
Where does my...
Unlike Palmer, who made a great fucking video about a death match, and he broke all the fucking rules. You get a death match video, and what do? You put death metal over it. You put rock over it. because it's hard hitting. You got the death match and it goes together, and people like to get all amped up when they watch it. Not this motherfucker. He mixes a death match video with Carly Rae Jepsen, and it was fantastic. And not only did it get traction on the 616 Entertainment board, it got traction on Twitter, it got traction on Reddit. And I talked to him. I said, it's a great video. You did a fantastic job editing it. And he goes, I know. Motherfuckers is telling me all day. I got 2,000 hits in a day.
Wow.
And I said, so what you do is you give it time to simmer. You let people enjoy the video. And then people are like, oh, man, remember that guy who made that great video? That's when you drop the bomb of video number 2. And he's like, yeah, I thought about it. I'm going to give it some time to breathe. Motherfucker puts out a new video 6 hours later.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
I'm not going to speak French because it wouldn't make any sense.
I don't know how to speak it.
I don't know how to speak French.
Au revoir.
Ricky Schmidt says Ian needs to have me rap battle the artists on the podcast. You'll win. You did a quantum mechanics rap one time. Remember that?
Yes. Because when Coulter was on it. Not gonna. I don't rap in this garb.
Oh shit! Daniel Zervian, heel Zervian's in the room. And he says, Brock Piper and Nigel can eat my shit. The Monopoly Championship is mine. Quit protecting these paper champions. Give me my title shot already. Daniel is talking shit. And you know the rule. You talk shit, you get shot. So Daniel better watch his back. Because I'm just a businessman. I'm not going to go out with guns, and I'm not going to shoot anybody. But no taxes, Nigel Bravo, the 4-0 champion, against Brock Piper, the man who was also undefeated, never lost the title. He had to give it up on a technicality. These guys are gunning for you, Daniel. And when you talk shit and get shot and you got 2 men gunning for you, the odds aren't in your favor.
We're not even like halfway done with Raw.
Well, let's fucking go. The Divas match was a mess and it was trash.
I don't give a fuck.
They did a Terminator promo where they clipped some Roman Reigns bullshit in for no fucking reason. They didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't even get that.
So
I was pooping.
Yeah, you had to take a shit. Palmer says the AIW video don't count. Palmer, I was just putting you over anyway. I was just mentioning your shit so people go and watch it. You know what I'm saying? But Coulter says Nigel can't eat shit, and Burnout says if they saw that cap, realistically, they shut off their phones or close their laptops and ask themselves in a calm yet panic manner, is this my life now? And I'll whisper, yes. I don't really know what he's talking about right now. But Ricky Schmidt says, why do I feel like you just did this show as the lead-in for your Monopoly game? I want that shit broadcast live. Well, Ricky Schmidt, let me tell you something. When Brock Piper comes back into town, the undefeated Monopoly champion, who never lost the title, gave it up on a technicality. He's going to go head-to-head with the undisputed, reigning, defending 616 Entertainment champion of the world, the 4-0, no taxes Nigel Bravo. That shit's getting broadcast live. That's been the plan all along. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Maybe Daniel Zerbian gets added to the game. And this whole... We need to shoot... We need to film promos for this. We need to hype this shit. Oh, dude. Promos. This is going to be a whole thing. I was going to plan for it to be a live event video. But if we treat this shit way more serious than it actually is, it'll be so fucking funny.
Two shots.
So, Palmer, I skipped the Divas because this match was bullshit. So, you know what I mean?
Don't cut any more promos tonight, okay?
Sorry.
That took like 20 fucking minutes of you cutting 6 parts.
I'm good at it.
It's not the time.
When is the time?
You do it once or twice in a show. You did it like fucking 4 times in a row, back to back to back, over the same shit. You diluted it as a show.
Captain McKay says he encourages all of this behavior. I can imagine being a new viewer and clicking just in time for the artist promo. You know what I mean?
I'm cutting promos on promos. That's what I'm doing.
Palmer says he will drive up to Pennsylvania to start a drunken board game series. Well, you'd be hanging out with Steve Schneider because I don't fucking live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Does this look like Pennsylvania to you?
It could be.
There's no books in Pennsylvania. They don't.
What are you saying? They're dumb?
No, they don't allow them.
I didn't write down anything else about Raw, so the rest of this shows you gotta carry.
Show's over.
You gotta bring it up, and then we can talk about it.
Show's over. We got Ryback, who is the Intercontinental Champion, versus Mark, the goddamn Henry. That's a good name.
I don't think so. Mark the goddamn Henry.
That should be somebody's nickname. Is the goddamn.
Maybe, man. If you book it. But what if we gave you the book? What would the current product look like right now if you had the book?
Everybody would have their middle name the goddamn.
So
Dolph,
Star the goddamn Dust.
Dolph the goddamn Ziggler, Mark the goddamn Henry, King the goddamn Barrett, John the goddamn Cena, Kevin the goddamn Owens, Lana the goddamn. Because the goddamn Neville.
The goddamn Neville?
Yeah.
You're not going to give him a first name?
He doesn't have one.
He used to.
Not on Raw, so it doesn't count.
Maybe you could find it, though.
No.
I understand. Palmer says he figured all him fans lived in Pennsylvania, all 6 of them. See, now, Palmer, I could cut a scorching promo on you, but I'm not right now. Because the only thing scorching on this scene is the artist's wardrobe.
I'm getting warm.
But yeah, because you're heating up the airways. That's just natural. Palmer says, what's wrestling? Coulter says, I forgot we were talking about wrestling.
Yeah, this is...
Adam DeVries says, fuck off, Palmer. I live in New Jersey, coming to the defense of him. Because I think I called him Adam Palmer. But it's Adam DeVries, a.k.a. System. So Ryback and Mark Henry have a match. Ryback finishes Henry with a splash off the top rope.
That was cool.
The goddamn page I could get into. Samoa the goddamn Joe. We are on fire tonight. So many good ideas, so many good looks, so many good promos. We got this shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? If I do this under your nose, you think you'll sneeze? You know what you're dressed like? You're dressed like me when I played Johan in Behind the Art 3. It's like the exact look.
I got way more shit I had, dude.
I was wearing a wig.
I almost choked.
How do you know what the ratings would be like if you died? That'd be pretty good.
I'd sacrifice myself.
Did the Dan Dans watch Top 5 Monsters with Sal Melendez? Because
if
that's
they didn't, they're dopes.
The link is in the description. And Dan Dans, I want to do one more call to action just real quick. If you haven't clicked that like button, you haven't clicked that subscribe button, you haven't shared the link on Twitter, let me tell you something. I'd appreciate it if you did. You know what I'm saying?
Like, share, subscribe for us.
What is this character's name? The goddamn. Steve says, I'm back. What the fuck is this? Steve, you got to go to Coulter's. Just watch the episode.
If you've missed,
Steve,
you don't know.
Ricky Schmidt will tell you I cut the promo of the year while you were gone. You know what I'm saying? But see, what Steve did is he disappeared so he could go buy Batman Arkham Knight, which I got to tell you, Dan, I bought that shit digitally and it's downloading in the background. So if you don't think I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight when we're done here, you got another thing coming. Like a fucking... Who did that song? Iron Maiden?
What's up?
Judas Priest? You got another thing coming. Who did that? Remember Rat
Nugent?
Round and round.
What comes around goes around. I'll tell you why.
Burnout says this is art. This is not a Raw show, though. So Ryback wins a splash off the top rope, and he goes backstage and he talks to JoJo, who's a real cute little tiny girl. And he said, I think he called her Renee at one point.
Did he?
I don't know. I think. But he goes, no, don't go calling me Flyback. And she didn't. So,
well, he told her not to, and she's like, okay.
Well, she didn't even think of it. So Coulter says this is Behind the Art. No, it isn't. Behind the Art is a documentary we did in 2009. The sequel from 2010, Behind the Art 2, also exists. Oh, buddy. Where do we go from here? Let's wrap this fucking shit up.
Well, we didn't talk about what fucking Big Show said to Ryback. He was like, what did he say?
He said, you're a tiny little boy.
But he did a voice. He's like, I'm a teeny tiny Ryback boy.
Hold on. Get real close to the screen and say that again.
You're a teeny tiny Ryback boy.
So here, we'll role play it. You're the Big Show and I'm Ryback. So I got to be down here because Ryback is small in comparison. They can't even see you at all. So Ryback was just like, Big Show, you're a tiny little Ryback boy. I thought we'd go a little longer with it than that. You just immediately came in with the money shot. Oh man, System says that it's Judas Priest. Ricky says Judas Priest used to scare the shit out of me when I was little, and he doesn't know why. And System says the artist singing glam metal should have happened as soon as he's putting this outfit on. Shayla Galenza, aka Christian, is back. That's big news. This motherfucker is ride or die. Let me tell you, he missed a couple weeks, but so did the artist, so we're not going to hold it against him. You know what I'm saying? Palmer says Summer Rae about to fuck Rusev too. Hey man, that's possible. Steve has a direct quote from the Big Show where he said, "I am cute." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he is cute.
So, where do we go from here?
Dolph Ziggler, or Adolf Ziggler, as I came up with in my tweet, versus Adam the goddamn Rose. And he was with Rosa. Is that her name?
Rosa Mengang.
She's got weird lips.
Yeah.
Drink.
Palmer, you gotta drink.
That's like 10 shots.
I don't think Palmer's drinking, because if Palmer was drinking, his fucking his grammar would look like this by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I don't know. Dolph Ziggler beats him.
Yeah, he certainly does.
And then he kisses Lana.
And then out comes Rusev.
No, he didn't come out. He was just watching back screen.
Oh.
And he got sad, and he threw his crutch, and he was sitting on the ground like a baby toddler, screaming and pouting with his legs out. And then Summer Rae gave him his crutch back. And she said something, but I feel like her mic wasn't on because I could not understand what she was saying.
Yeah.
She said something that was like, She said something like this. Like what the?
That's probably what Palmer sounds like right now. If he's Palmer says he's missed half the scream and he's taken 5 shots. You know what I mean? But Palmer is coming with the news saying that Lesnar killed Jamie Noble. Apparently he got legit hurt. Now, see, this was a problem because when he grabbed him and he was running him like spear style towards the barricade, I was like, be careful with that small boy. Because I was really worried that big dad was going to kill that small boy, and apparently he did. So
well, I hope he comes back to life.
If he's dead, that's like 7 people Brock Lesnar killed in this
year.
Yeah. Ricky Schmidt wants you to try out for the next season of the Broken Skull Challenge.
All right.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
All right. That wasn't hard. Where we go from here? Let's wrap this shit up.
It's the main event with Seth Rollins comes out to apologize to all his friends he wronged in the past.
That's the plot of Behind the Art 3.
He's an alcoholic. He's making amends. Which
no,
is like
that's the plot of Behind the Art 3.
No, he's not an alcoholic. He's in too good a shape to be that.
Yeah. Palmer says he sounds like you look. And then System says she's gonna peg him with that fucking bird nose of hers. That's rude.
Maybe rude. Maybe he's gonna peg her. Maybe she's gonna peg him with the crutch.
It's all possible. I don't really want to get too much into it. But Christian says first she's sucking Fandango's wang, then Miz, now Rusev. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, so Seth comes out. He tries to be a nice boy. And everyone's just like, fuck you, dad boy. We don't want anything to do with you.
But then Lesnar comes out.
And everyone's just like,
see ya. Have fun with this big man. This Brock the goddamn Lesnar.
So Brock the goddamn Lesnar jumps up on the thing, and I think Seth pooped. Like, I can't confirm it, but I'm not going to deny it.
I smelled it.
I think he pooped.
I smelled it through the TV.
I thought you might have. I was getting a hint of it, but I thought maybe it was just the rock that you had in your shoe. I thought you took the rock out, and I was like, that's why that rock smells like his foot, because he had...
I don't know what's happening.
So, all of Seth's boys basically told him to go fuck himself. But then you were like, oh, he's going to die now. And I go, nah, dog, that's a swerve-ski. So here comes Kane. He pulls Lesnar down. And then the whole rigmarole happens where Kane and Seth beat up babyface Lesnar. Babyface Lesnar is selling more now because he's a babyface.
Beating up on his leg.
Yeah.
To damage the leg. He's not going to be able to walk.
2 choke slams and a pedigree.
He'll walk again.
And Brock is laying at the end of Raw. First show as a babyface, and he's laying. I mean, who would have booked it that way? You know what I'm saying?
A smart ass.
Like a person who's got an attitude.
No,
Coulter says this show is a fucking train wreck. But let me tell you, Coulter, I've been looking at the numbers on the bottom, and this is one of the better ones we've done. So that's what this show is. Christian Galenza says, wait. Badango. And on that note, let's wrap this shit up. Dans, this is what happens when we take a week off of Raw Talks. We come back, and this is the biggest fucking train wreck you've ever seen.
Now, do you guys want more shows like this? What kind of a balance do you like? Because earlier, I think Coulter said he likes a little bit of both. But we got to know the balance, because this was definitely more balanced to fucking off. I had a blast.
This is probably the most fun I've ever had doing this show. But we gotta ask the Dans how they feel, because they do matter and we love them.
These guys, I think, are gonna like it, but the fucking people that see it on Reddit, they're probably gonna be like,
"Fuck Reddit, we're not on Reddit. We're not on Reddit." That's why our chat has been asshole free tonight. Other than Palmer showing up and pulling some bullshit, but I love him too much. I can't be mad at him. So
he was drunk off his fucking ass.
Where can the Dans follow you on Twitter?
I changed my Twitter handle. Everybody, friends, neighbors, Dans.
That's my fucking catchphrase.
What do you want?
I don't say fat mama. You don't say friends, neighbors, Dans alike. You understand?
I didn't say alike.
But you were gonna. Where can they follow you on Twitter? Come on.
I changed it to @
Palmer says less wrestling, more cross-dressing artists. Coulter says, that being said, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Palmer, if this is the kind of show you're into, just listen to the podcast. Because we have guests on, we have independent wrestlers on, we have musicians on, we have all sorts of people on, and it's really fun.
It's just a shit show.
The whole thing is a shit show. Burnout says, I think you pushed the envelope past the point of no return. And Captain says, this show was a lot of fun, no doubt. Steve says he enjoys what he saw. So it's settled. This show, I no longer feel any pressure to talk about wrestling.
This is what we are.
No, we're going to talk about Raw.
Next week,
yeah,
no mention of Raw or wrestling.
Can you imagine that? If it was called WWE Raw Talks Live, but it basically just becomes a new podcast.
A live podcast.
Well, the live podcast is going to happen, but you're not supposed to tell them about that yet.
I didn't even know about it.
Because I didn't tell you about it yet.
You spoiled it then. I didn't spoil it.
You know what I'm saying?
You can follow me at theartist616. No underscores, because underscores are for fucking dopes. It was actually Brock Pfeiffer who encouraged me to get rid of the underscore.
Yeah.
He tweeted and was like, I don't know where the underscore is on my keyboard. It takes me hours to find it. So you should change your name.
Hold on. Real quick. Is this the one he's talking about? No, that's not the one he's talking about. Christian Glens is asking if we read comics and is Batman and Robin, Batman Reborn good? I do read comics, but I haven't read Batman Reborn. That's one of the new ones that they've just started. Christian, I'm going to suggest a couple comics to you that are not superhero based. You should be reading Deadly Class from Image Comics. You should be reading Neverboy from Dark Horse Comics. There's a lot of good shit out there. You know what I'm saying? You should be reading Saga, but everyone and their fucking brother's reading Saga.
So maybe
good
he's
reason.
not.
Palmer says podcasts are fun. And Palmer, I got a good connection with Palmer, and I feel like he and I are on the same page a lot. I'd like to invite Palmer on the podcast.
You're on the podcast, Palmer.
Palmer, let's talk. We're gonna go through the old private conversations, and we're gonna figure out when we're gonna get you on the podcast. We can talk about your CZW video. We can talk about Carly Rae Jepsen. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Steve gave you a raspberry on your belly?
Yeah,
that was fucking weird.
I preferred Castro's chop to Steve's raspberry.
I don't think anyone has seen that yet. But we played Monopoly the other night, and Castro chopped the shit out of you. And I mean, I can't say you didn't deserve it.
I said some mean things, but he deserved the mean things to be said.
Steve says, happy birthday, Ian's dad, and I really appreciate that. And I read all the comments to him later, and he really appreciated it as well. You know what I'm saying? So we love you. Follow me on Twitter at IDS616. Follow me on Instagram at 616entertainment. Watch this show every Monday like you are. The podcast, 616 Entertainment Podcast, goes up every Wednesday. This week, episode 67 is with Big C, Chris Castro. Freelance wrestling, that's where he wrestles. He wrestles for Dreamwave. He wrestles all over the fucking place. Lucha.
Underground?
No, that's a TV show.
No, not Lucha Underground. Underground Wrestling. That's a different thing, isn't it?
What's the Lucha? Galley Lucha.
Galley Lucha.
He's a former Galley Lucha Tag Team Champion. You know what I mean? Freelance wrestling is getting huge, and if you guys are not on board with freelance wrestling, freelancewrestling.com.
You already missed the first year.
Yeah.
So you might want to jump in now before you're just basically bandwagon jumpers.
Burnout says, I looked at my phone and everything is good. I look back up and the artist is naked. Positive or minus? Coulter says positive. Coulter also says happy birthday, Dad, which I really appreciate.
This thing's fucking
So here's where you got chopped by Big C Chris Castro, which was no joke.
Not really interested in trying any other drugs.
I mean, I don't want to ruin my body or just my life.
You might end up looking like this
I
guy.
don't think this is it.
This is a banger body.
That's-
I gotta say.
That's the wrong clip. But the right clip. Oh, here we go. Here's where you got chopped by Chris Castro.
Happen, dog. Well, it doesn't count when they're not on the table.
Botched, you fucking moron.
That shit. System says Big C is always fun.
It wasn't shit, Castro.
This week, we've got What Game Are You Gaming? Episode 2, which is our gaming podcast, is going live. We have Let's Plays in the books with Big C Chris Castro. We've branched out our Let's Plays to include guests. Big C Chris Castro is going to be on a whole bunch now. We played some awesome Sega Genesis games. It's going to be a really good time. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank all the Dan-Dans, the ride or dies, who came back after the week off to spend their Monday night with us. It's time to get the fuck out of here and play Batman Arkham Knight on PS4. And if you Dan-Dans want to be friends with me on PS4, Venus Doom 616, VENUS, Doom 616. You know what I'm saying? We love you, Dan-Dans.
Hey, Mike, make sure everyone has brown gloves.
Does everyone have brown gloves?
Dude.